Hi, I'm Alex Stutchbury and welcome to ARTClass, a series of videos teaching you the key skills needed to create great art. Today I'm going to show you how to do an acrylic portrait, and the subject matter, James Bond. Let's have a look at the objectives.
Can I mix realistic skin tones using only the three primary colours and white, and can I make it look 3D by creating a blurred background and high contrast tones on the person?
Now, I've always been a huge James Bond fan. My favourite actor in the series, Sean Connery, and probably my favourite film is The Living Daylights starring Timothy Dalton. I've also really enjoyed watching Daniel Craig put his style into that role, and so today I'm going to show you how to do a picture of Daniel Craig from a scene from his film Spectre.
We will use crimson red, cadmium yellow, white and Prussian blue.
Now, you really do only need those four colours. The pictures behind me and the one I'm about to show you have literally only used that white and those three primary colours. I used the Prussian blue because you can mix it together with the others to go really dark. That's how we make the black colours that you see in these pictures. And also the crimson red has a slightly darker quality to it. So although you can mix it to a lighter, paler colour, you can also use those really dark blood red tones in certain areas. So let's get started. I've already drawn up and scaled up my Daniel Craig picture. Now I'm going to show you how to apply those skin tones on top. Off we go.
So to begin with, here's how you make some skin tones. Red, a little bit of the yellow and the white. More white will lighten it up, more red and yellow will darken the skin tone. If you put a lot more red in and then actually add a little bit of blue as well, it will create a brown tint, which will work well for shadowed areas or if someone's got a darker skin complexion. If you want to make a really dark tone or a black shadow tone, it's a combination of all three primary colours. About 20% of the yellow, 30% of the red and then 50% of the blue, and that will make it really dark. Of course, if you add white then to that black colour you've made, you can get grey or silver tones. So that's how you can make any colour using just those four colours. So starting on the actual Daniel Craig picture, maybe put some mid-tones in first and then you can apply darker shadows on top, leaving some areas white still so you can see how that full tonal range is working. Blocking colours, and you can always add extra darker or lighter details later. While those first layers are drying, let's work on the background. To blur the background, use more water so the paint stays wet for longer, making it easy to blend the colours together on the piece. Use a larger brush, but don't have it too runny. Get some of the water off. As an example first, you can see how mixing some of these colours together, adding just a little bit of paint but keeping that brush very watery, maybe cleaning it now and again in between, you can mix lots of different colours together, creating almost a rainbow effect. So here, put some colours in, maybe use a slightly smaller brush first so you can get a nice sharp crisp edge to the actual face, but then use and work with a bigger brush in the background to apply a lot of paint on, but using a lot of water at the same time. It doesn't matter too much what the shapes and patterns are in the background. Have a look at the images you're working from, but you need to make sure there's no sharp edges and crisp lines. You want it fading into different sections and different colours so it gives that blurred illusion. Then for the final bit, use highlights using white paint to make the foreground figure, in this case Daniel Craig, really stand out. So apply some base colours on the hair, but then now we're applying pure white paint around the edges and down the side of his skin, of his face, to make it really stand out. For his jacket, it's not just going to be flat. You want to have some colour on there, even if it's quite a dark jacket. So again, we go back to the mixing palette to show, even if it was, say, just a blue jacket, the full tonal range of blues that you can create using just one colour, and the white can go really extreme. Using the Prussian blue, it can look almost black, one end of that spectrum, whereas if you use a lot of white, it can go quite pale. So when you're applying these on to his jacket here, it's going to be a mixture. In fact, you may add a little bit of the other colours in to turn some sections slightly grey, or there's hints of green in some areas too.
So there you have it, final piece. And once framed, I think it looks pretty cool. I'm pleased with this piece. And I think it's achieved all the objectives. So having that bright white highlight down the side, contrasting well with the darker shadows on his body, and also using the watery brush for the background so it blurs it out slightly and doesn't clash with the figure in the foreground, which is a bit you're wanting to make stand out because it's James Bond. So give it a go. Try some of those tips, and if you're stuck with anything, pause the slide at the end of the video and it will go through some of those tips and tricks again. So I look forward to seeing how you get on. My name's Alex Stutchbury. Goodbye.